Singapore's most iconic building is about to get a massive upgrade. Marina Bay Sands is betting $8 billion to build a fourth tower. Together with an arena, this new tower will add 570 luxury suites to the world's most profitable casino. But this isn't just about adding more rooms, it's about booking the world's richest guests. Singapore is competing with Dubai, Hong Kong and Bangkok to become the top-of-the-line gateway between Asia and the West. And they're going all in. Hey, I'm Luis, and today we're diving into a controversial new mega project set to play a major role in Singapore's future. You might be surprised to hear that Marina Bay Sands is expanding. And you might ask, why? In 2024, MBS topped the charts of the most valuable global casino brands. When the resort opened in 2010, it wasn't just a hotel and casino. It was a statement. Built on reclaimed land in Marina Bay, this mega project stood out worldwide for its 3 towers connected by the Sky Park. And you definitely know that one. It's the almost impossible-looking surfboard platform with an infinity pool. Its cantilevered observation deck is the largest in the world. And it became a popular tourist attraction for those who aren't even staying at the hotel. The scale of the original Marina Bay Sands was shocking. 2,560 hotel rooms, a casino, a convention center, a mall with 2 theaters, and even a massive museum shaped like a lotus flower. The Art Science Museum is an incredible piece of architecture on its own. It has 2 exhibit spaces, one within the flower shape, the other in underground galleries below a water lily garden. So when it all finally opened, Marina Bay Sands didn't just succeed, it dominated. Within a few years, the resort was generating billions in revenue. Forbes calls it likely the most profitable casino in the world. And the CEO of Las Vegas Sands, the team behind the project, calls it the most successful resort in history. More importantly, Marina Bay Sands put Singapore on the map as a destination for the ultra-wealthy. That's a role Singapore has been eager to embrace. Fast forward to today, and the tiny nation-state faces new competition. Asia's tourism market has been booming, and it's slated to continue growing for the next decade at an average 6.7% each year. Many countries are now competing for that revenue and the title of premier hub in Asia. Dubai is building mega resorts. Hong Kong has expanded its airport, and Bangkok is building big. Singapore's response? Go even bigger. It wants Marina Bay Sands to attract the world's wealthiest tourists, despite massive competing projects elsewhere in Asia. Dubai's Atlantis the Royal, which opened in 2023, costing more than $1.5 billion. Galaxy Macau's Phases 3 and 4 together cost up to $6.4 billion. With an $8 billion upgrade to Marina Bay Sands, Singapore is outspending all of them. Bigger and better has always been the approach with this project. Let's take a look at the original construction that made Marina Bay Sands so impressive back in 2010. And before I show you how Marina Bay Sands was constructed and why the 4th tower is actually causing quite a lot of controversy, quick thanks to CyberGhost VPN for supporting our channel. If you've been watching MegaBuilds for a while, you've probably heard us mention CyberGhost before. I've personally been using it for over a year now, and it works really well. Whether I'm working on videos at home or while traveling, I like knowing that my data isn't being tracked or sold behind my back. CyberGhost has over 38 million users and a great rating on Trustpilot. What I really like is that you can use CyberGhost on up to 7 devices at the same time. So I've got it on my laptop and my phone, but you could also share it with family and friends. Plus, it lets you unlock content that's normally geo-blocked where you live. The setup is super simple. Just choose from over 100 countries or let it auto-pick the fastest server. Then you just hit this button and that's it. All your internet traffic gets encrypted and rerouted through their secure servers. That means more privacy, access to more content, and even better deals when shopping online. Right now, you can get 84% off plus 4 whole months for free. And with their 45-day money-back guarantee, you can just try it without any risk. Check them out at cyberghostvpn.com/megabuilds or use our link in the description. And now, back to the construction of Marina Bay Sands. Building it required excavating 18 meters underground. That's almost 6 stories down into the mud. And then erecting towers with unique curves. And the sky park that connects them all at the top is more than 340 meters long. That's longer than the Eiffel Tower is tall. It consists of 14 steel segments that were built off-site. The largest 2 segments together make the 66.5 meter cantilever that extends beyond the edge of the building. Getting them all up in the sky and attached to the 3 towers was a feat in itself. It took more than 16 straight hours just to raise them that high. And that infinity pool? It's not just a fancy swim at an extraordinary height. It's also moving in response to the 3 towers. They sway with the wind and move over time from the Earth settling. That's why Sky Park has 500 hydraulic jacks making tiny adjustments, ensuring that the infinity pool is always perfectly level. All of these engineering feats were reflected in the price tag. At the time of its opening, Marina Bay Sands was the most expensive standalone casino ever built, costing $5.7 billion, or about $8.5 billion today. So the price tag for this 4th new tower is almost as much as the first 3 combined. That seems like a lot to me, but let's take a look at the design of what they're planning to build. For now, it's known simply as IR2, short for Integrated Resort 2. That just means it's a one-stop shop, a hotel with a casino, convention facilities, shows and retail. IR2 will be 55 stories tall, adding 570 luxury suites to the hotel. We don't know details about the new suites, but Marina Bay Sands says they'll be more upscale and private than what's in the other towers. And that includes the Chairman Suites, which can be as big as 630 square meters. It's all part of a shift, from wealthy tourists to ultra-wealthy. The kind who fly private, shop without looking at price tags and expect experiences that money usually can't buy. Yeah, that's the target customer. Anyways, the new tower will offer an even higher tier of luxury, including 23 giant suites that it calls mansions. The tower also includes its own casino, a 15,000-seat entertainment arena, and lots of new spaces for conventions and expos. The shape of the tower is unusual, curved wings rising from top to bottom, all of it pivoted 45 degrees to the other buildings. That turn gives guests views of both Marina Bay and the Singapore Strait. The facade sports massive garden terraces, growing as the tower climbs. And crowning this tower is the more than 7,000 square meter sky loop, overlapping boomerang-shaped decks that curve in opposite directions and lock together. They're layered with panels that look like fish scales, each one of which is lit individually so the whole surface glows at night. Back down on the ground, the arena is finding its own ways to stand out. It's being designed by the same architects who also came up with the Sphere in Las Vegas. With this new structure, they're creating a space for 15,000 people to see a show with one of the world's most impressive skylines as a backdrop. So how will this all fit into what's already built? IR2 aims to be a standalone icon that complements the original 3 towers, fitting in and standing out at the same time. One thing the new tower will share with the others is a curving silver and glass facade. And similarities between the Sky Park and the new Sky Loop will also help unify the towers. Both projects are the vision of the same renowned architect, Moshe Safdie. Safdie has always been about creating buildings that become destinations themselves. And that's certainly the case with his other iconic Singapore project, Jewel. The airport shopping mall and entertainment center that's home to the world's tallest indoor waterfall. Safdie has been at work on the Marina Bay Sands expansion for several years. In his original design, unveiled in 2019, the fourth tower stood right next to the other three. It also included more smaller suites. Those plans stayed that way for a few years. Then, as the decision to build approached, the team proposed swapping the location of the tower and arena. It was a design choice as well as a practical one. The tower arena switch made access to the new structures easier. Another big change since 2019 is the price tag. It was just $3.3 billion back then. Now it's 8. Part of that is because material and labor costs are way up since the COVID pandemic, as is inflation. On top of that, the shift to ultra-luxury suites also raises building costs. Construction of IR2 began with the July 2025 groundbreaking. That's when people first took notice of the project and its design. But reactions have been mixed at best. Most of the online critics of the expansion feel that the fourth tower will stick out too much and they miss the symmetry of the original structure. Some even said that the new tower looks like a giant dehumidifier. Safdie responded to the criticism, saying that when it's all said and done, people will feel it's always been there. And the sum total of the two together is greater than the individual parts. At the end of the day, change is a constant in Singapore. The growth of Marina Bay Sands is just one part of Singapore's integrated development plans for what it calls the Greater Southern Waterfront. It's a multi-decade plan to move ports and turn Singapore's southern coast into prime real estate for people to live, work and spend money. In fact, continued expansion has become Singapore's national mandate. Wong summarized it in 2024 in a video address to the nation.
We are never done building Singapore.
As of today, IR2 is slated to open in January 2031. So what do you think? Is Singapore's ultra-luxury strategy the right move? Or could this fourth tower destroy the look of their most famous building? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to try CyberGhost, use our link in the description for 84% off plus 4 whole months for free. You can use CyberGhost on up to 7 devices and share it with family and friends. Thank you so much for watching and as always, we'll see you in the next one.